Now we go Miko. Jacob, how you doing? Sorry. Boom. I didn't have my Twitch chat open. Alright, this rock is pretty good. Can't lie. That's a god base right there. I'm gonna actually save that. He needs to land on the moon and come home. We're gonna require one of these. Will that be enough? Is the question. Huh. Let's put some methane in there. Methane. Methane booster. Yeah, little guy. It's 2 grand. Hmm. Show some methane bubbles. Oh, why not? That's 1 grand. That's not enough to get home. That's what I think of that. Methane 3. That's not enough to land. Take off. And you want 6? That's just not dense enough of fuel. Well, how many tons am I? I'm 3 tons. How many tons is this bitch? This thing is half a ton. Alright, that's kind of... That's ridiculous is what that is. That thing disconnects a lot. But this thing's fucking awesome. It's got a lot of electricity. How heavy is that? That's 40th of a ton. But it's super fat. It gives me no room to do jack. Shit. Unless we do this. I like this idea. Cool. And we need some reaction wheels to keep things reacting. We need also some electricity sources. I think that's enough to withstand on its own power. Now the stupid part. I'm getting a gear on this thing. Which is just mind-bogglingly difficult. This doesn't suffice. How many? We're 3 tons. Okay, so we're 3 tons, and this engine. No. This one. Alright, that's 2 grand right there. Okay. Alright. Live with that. Can live with that. Alright, then we got... Can you cooperate? 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 You... That fuel... 4. We are 321. Okay. Now, if I theoretically do this, we are 5. That is enough to get home. But is it enough to live? I don't think it'll live if it goes into the atmosphere. What I need from you, my friend, is something like a parachute. A parachute. Brother? I said I need a parachute. Fine. Don't give me a damn parachute. Just kidding. Find it right here. All right. All right. All right. Boom. Okay, got a parachute. Okay, sweet. So, um, it looks crazy, but I think it works. All right, so now we need to add a lot of weight. So to get her over with. It's not gonna molecularize like I want it to. Not unless we go big. And, you know, that could be fine if we put the absolute lightest. That's 9 tons. That's 31. That's 9 tons. 25 tons. So that's 9 tons. So if we add 9 tons of this fuel, I'm sure it's just gonna have a ridiculously fun. What is that? Oh, he remodeled that. Oh, cool. No, he didn't. What was that engine I just pulled out of thin air? What was that engine? It's brand new. Is it this one? No. Is it this one? Oh, yeah, okay. He remodeled these ones. Okay. Kind of cool. All right. Anyway, this one. 8,000 meters a second. And that's giving me 63. So all I need is 3 of them. We've run into a mammoth jam. And the mammoth jam would be that we don't have a way to mount a coupler without adding a fuel stage. And that bothers me a lot because that's a lot of, that's like 10 tons. Yeah. Oh. Okay, so that's like 8,900 or 699. So that's It's a lot of weight, dude. I don't love that. And then I don't like it. I'm mad. Alright. Grab this big ass heat shield. Oh, you know what? We just make this empty, and that is 3 tons. Okay, that thing is basically no weight whatsoever. You know what? We're gonna be all right. Maybe not. Oh, you know what? There's a part for this. There's a part for this. It's this fucker. Hey. Yeah, there we go. All right, we're good. All right, now this will molecularize. We're 248 tons. We are 248 tons. Okay. All right. Now what we can do is grab our decoupler. Now this is the question. Do I just do one of those mamma jamma? That is going in the heat sink. So let's do... That's enough. That's enough. No, but that's like 5 grand and a lot of bullshit strings. I do something weird. I gotta do something weird. I gotta make a weird lander. How heavy are you? You're 6 tons. That's so much weight. It's actually not though when it... Alright, let's add the engine and see what kind of numbers are you. Tell me something now. 103. That's 3. So I need 2 times that amount. How am I gonna get 2 times that amount? Get 2 times that amount without... This is just... There's something wrong. Okay, yeah, it's looking right. I gotta do it. I mean, I gotta do it. There's no place to put my landing gear. Well, scratch that. Let's make sure our landing gear can landing gear. There you are. Please allow it. All right, that's not terrible. Do 4. Extend. Rotate. It does not give me a lot of real estate underneath. I'm complaining. That's no real estate underneath. Let's try something. This thing's definitely gonna need a reaction wheel. I can already sense it. Go from reaction wheel. You won't let me put it on there? To adapters. How do you do this? Why do you do this to me every fucking time? I visualize something and you just go the other way. Need a goddamn neural link. Alright, what do you got for me? 1 grand. It's pretty pathetic. I expected more from you. Okay. What do you got for me? You got friend in me? Cute, cute, cute. Alright, it's very possible we could just put a fuel cell here, down here, and you give me the number I want. Yeah. And then you give me the number. Huh? That added nothing? Oh. That added nothing. Absolutely zip. We're really gonna have to do the thing I don't want to do. No fucking course we got it. Gives me no real estate. Now. I could. Get one of these. Let's make that even. Okay, there we go. And we just get rid of that one. You really won't be center, will you? Getting a booster on there is just, huh, it's okay. It's perfectly fine. Actually, found a spot for you. Now it's gonna go out faster. Yeah, it is. Of course it will. Uh, here. Okay. Hold on. We're good. We're good. Yeah. Now, ain't that some shit? Mm-hmm. Okay. Rotating thingy, this guy. Boom. You don't like me. That'll separate like such, and then we want to pass the resources, and then we want to disconnect these. One of these. And one complicated stage. Oh, and we're going to pass the resources. Okay, now we can rotate this object like so. It's sticking out. Ah, it's sticking out. Hate you. Okay, we can't do that because it sticks out. So what we can do is we can go here and grab one and two. That gives me 4 mount. Oh, then I do one of these. This looks like the Indian lander thing that they did. Kind of cool. Now I can get down with some of that mamma jamma. And since this will be moving backwards, it can completely disconnect all of this as one. Now we are talking. Let's center it though. Nice. So what we need to do now is we need to add another one. And we don't want to heat up this foil because this has got a really low temperature state. What we need to do is we need to rotate this object outward. Or create a rotating boy. And we should be able to mount the object as such here at the very top. And then rotate these objects down. Calling for angularness. What's bogus shit is the fact that it's not centered. So we're gonna need a way to do that, which last I checked is one piece that's absolutely annoying as hell, but super necessary. It's this one. This is super heavy. That will fuck up the thrust line and this object will just become an asshole. Okay, we're back to square one because this bitch decided, hey, I'm gonna be a prick. And I'm gonna stick out. So, you know, these engines just have to be so long, don't they? Yeah. Of course they do. Okay. Think. 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 Okay. I'm gonna take this object off to attempt another building device. some kind. Let's just say I decided to do that. And then I rotated this object like that. And then I rotated this object like that. What would happen? Well, it barely fits is what happens. The issue is no issue. So we have two thrusting things. That thing absolutely barely fits. All right. Now what we can do is we can put all of you down. And that should be enough electricity for the entire Isaac Newton and his mom. But that's not going to work because it has no room to decouple. We'll just leave the solar panels to work here. And I don't understand what you're doing. Yeah, and we'll just put more solar panels here. Nice. Okay. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this adapter on the bottom of this thing, and then that should just kind of flip this. Hold on. Did I flip it right? No, I didn't. I need you to flip. There we go. And then you will fit now. Okay. And the landing legs are not long enough. Just one thing after one thing after one thing. All right, this is an easy fix. We just have to, nah, this is an easy fix. We just gotta take this and throw it away. And then throw this into this, and then that'll take off from there, and that'll fit. Oh my god, it worked. Alright, and then we want to pass resources to that one. And now, right, it's what? Hey John, building me a rover that goes to the moon and comes home from said moon. Why is you saying that this isn't the correct fuel pair, dude? Oh, that's why. This fuckface is not passing. No, he's passing resources. So you take. Oh, so we can't. Well, that's not good. It's not good at all. The resources are not being passed through here. Okay, okay. Okie dokie. Person. Wait a second. That kind of works. Oh, you know what? No, 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 no. That's why, that's why, that's why. So this fuckface is the issue. So he's like, hey, Mama Jamma, I don't pass resources. He's like, I don't. Ah, it flipped. Okay, maybe that'll fix it. Okay. Alright, so this doesn't drink anything. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. It doesn't like it. Oh my god. But I did find something pretty cool. So this piece doesn't allow it to pass resources, which maybe there's gotta be a fuel source here for it to register. This is a bug. This is not. That's not good. That ain't good. Why do you not want to work, man? Hold on. We're gonna, I think what I did is I broke the JSON. Alright, let's try this. Huh. Weird. It was working before. And now it decided I don't want to work. Okay. Be lazy. Would you? We go with this guy. New build. Is that choosing to be complicated? All I need is just 5,000 meters a second. All I need. Okay. Alright. You. Let's get the landing legs done because other. Landing legs, where'd you go? There it is. That doesn't want to fit there. Okay, so before anything, we need to see if I can't put a parachute on the top of this, which it looks like I can. All right, done. Parachute established. That's good. Next. How heavy is this piece of shit already? It's already 0.6. It's almost a ton and there's not even fuel on it left. But the good thing about this is it's got a really good communication. It can the antenna on this bitch is awesome. Now, say we do, let's just do this. And let's put that on there and see what kind of thrust we're getting, because we have to have the smallest fuel on planet Earth. 4 grand. That's a good sign. That's a very good sign. So it means I can confidently do that. And do that. And then now, yay, that's not. That's going to be 6. That's going to be 4. All right. And this thing is 3 tons. It's going to be 5. All right, whatever. Good news is I have a bunch of room for utilities. Okay, let's get the hard part over. We're gonna take the that's gotta be like that. I gotta extend this, see if I have enough clearance. Barely. Fucking barely. Are you kidding me? Okay, I can get away with that. I can get away with that. That's enough room. Alright, cool. Alright, and then we get utilities all over this thing. So, I need to grab a aerodynamical thing. I need to grab, here. See. That's too big. It's too small. Well, actually, no, this is right. It's actually right. It's just right. Okay, and then we grab the decoupler thingy bob. Past resources is up. Okay. All right. What's the TWR in this? 121. All right, cool. We're gonna do a stabilization check and parachute check. Make sure this thing runs. 4-5's a little skimpish on return. That's wonderful. No communication to Earth. Here I am giving you compliments about your antenna, and you're just wrecking me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That'll do it. All right, boom. We are good to go. Nice. That was sick, dude. All right. We had no stabilization on this bitch. So, and just a couple of those suckers should not fall over. Yeah, overheat issue. Oh, communications, no signal. Interesting. All right. So the good news is that that's more than enough for the moon. I have to be careful here to not delete. All right. All right, cool. Anyway, so that's more than enough to get off for the moon. But it's not jack for Earth, so let's just fix that, make that just work for Earth right now. All right, there we go. I just want to give it a chance, you know, to Okay, dokie. We are checking to see if we have stabilization, and it would appear no. We have no stabilization whatsoever. So that thing's not going to be able to handle the atmosphere. So we'll fix that. What we need to do is see if this thing will live off of one parachute if it's not too heavy. It is stressed out. It's at 9 meters a second. It lived. All right, cool. All right, so we're fine. Just some issues that can be fixed. With you know, parts. I think it has no gyro. Hmm. I'll do it. It should give me enough power. Alright, what comes up must come down. Alright, cool. I don't see a difference. Let's try that. But now I gotta do a parachute test to make sure that this thing with the reaction wheel isn't gonna die. Alright, we'll set this to that. And time warping. Oh. Hopefully it lives. It could be a little heavy. It lived. Alright, that's very good. Now what I can do is I can remove these because we don't need them anymore. One will do. And then that will come in at high velocity and enter Earth, and we'll use the atmosphere to slow down. Electrical problem. Fix that. One battery will do it. Yeah, I'll do it. And then we have to coat this thing in sun. Receivers. There we go. Is that a more even turning? Nah. Let's do this. Here we go. That will survive. Okay. This thing's only got 3,000 meters a second now. I'm about to actually crash out. To actually crash out. Okay. Back to square 100. Alright, what about you? You? Would be the way. Screw it. That's what I'm doing. I'm a dummy. I'm a dummy. I'm a dummy. My moon rover that I made like a million years ago. Yeah, we just, Now, some days I just am real slow. Alright. I need 3. I go with 2 to 5. I need 2 to 3. Where are you? Brother. Don't want to deal with your bullshit today. That'll mount 3 barely. No, it's angular. Screw you. Not 1 to 2. This is lighter. 2 to 3. There she is. All right. 1 more of those. And then I did it. Finally. It's finally done. Of course. All right. Thank you. Thank you for not working. All right. What about you? And you. Together. Yeah? You'll do me a favor? Yes, you will. No, you won't. All right. All right. Let's simplify it. Let's simplify it. Um, okay. Not really. I'm trying. But anyway, okay. You, my JSON corrupted. Don't you love that? Perfect. And then make that the right fuel, and then put that there, and then make that the right fuel. I know what I'm doing, so it shouldn't take long. 1, 2, 3. Like so, 7,000. I don't know why you're getting different numbers every time I put you down. Weird how you do that to me. Nice. Okay. Take 1. No, I don't need that from you. I need this from you. There. Actually, why add more space when I don't need it? Now we go to the landing. Why does he move the utilities, man? Screws with my brain. Extend. Awesome. Sick. Alright, let's try this. Let's pull you back out of that, and let's try doing a little bark clippings. Gonna allow it. No, you're not gonna allow it. Okay. Undo that. Put those back on there. Done. Let's go ahead and extend this. I think. Change the one. Sick. Ow, they didn't take off because I don't have, I don't have, enough TWR on Earth, but on the moon and then out there in the sun and all that, I have a fuck ton of it. How heavy am I? I'm 21 tons. Okay. That's actually a problem. Alright, electricity. He like fucking electricity. That's what got me here in the first place. One ass battery. And keep it charged. Hmm. That's gonna burn up in the atmosphere. So the batteries are gonna have to go, or the solar panels are gonna have to go here. That's pretty compact. Oh, no, they don't have to go there. They don't have to go there. I can get away with this. No, I can't. They're gonna, yeah, they're gonna break everything up. Okay. I can't get away with that. And if we expand those solar panels, we get something like that. So those are pretty decent, and they will work just fine. And they should clear the fairing. They're not going to clear the fairing. Of course they're not going to clear the fairing. Those will clear the fairing. Okay. Alright. Thank you for doing that. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted you to definitely be there. That's exactly what I wanted for Christmas. Nice. Stop it, dude. Thank you. He cooperated. Alright, now we have to put on a fairing. Get this. Yeah, we can color match there. And I think it's touching the fairing, but it's alright. Okay, alright, there we go. First part of the rocket done. Now, let's see how much of this methane we can squeeze out. That's 3 grand, dude. Hold on a second. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. So it means we can get a giant stage here. Means we can get a giant stage here. English. Of just the most ridiculous TWR of all time. Yes, we can. Oh, this is a God Rocket. This is a God Rocket. This is gonna be my best build of the year. That is 6,000 right there. That's orbit. And some. And then just pull this sucker out. Make sure it's even. We just get a solid long tube and we're done? Solid state. Base. 3. Expect more from you. But that's still very good. With a TWR 137. And now we just have a decoupler. I gotta do 4. 4 is meta. Now remember guys, always 4 rockets on the outside. Bitch. Bob. Hmm. It'll do. Alright. And then our turnings. Where is he at? Hello? 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 Oh my god, dude. Why does... Some structure, it doesn't make any sense up there. Should be in cooling. 3, 6. Alright, aerodynamic check. Rotate. This is not the final draft. This is just checking. It's solid fuel pairing. So we need to check the solid fuel pairing. Now I held W. Pretty cool. This thing's got some mobility, that's for sure. It is whipping around right now. Wow, the amount of atmospheric control this sucker thing out. Like, the fact that I was able to get right back up center is psycho. And that's a problem, bro. That's not facing the direction that it should be. It should be facing that way. That's because I flipped. Okay, wrong. I actually was holding W on launch. And that was just lazy finger. Let's try again. Okay, it's orientated, right? Okay, good. Alright, now we can check the fuel pairs for sure. And I just need to figure out when this thing needs to decouple. I think like 10. It's really slow to get up to speed here. It's at 178. It's coasting though, and it's really working good. Alright. Alright, we're at 116, so now what we can do is we can prograde, and then we can get rid of this. Check our first fairing stage here and make sure this works. No. Those damn solar panels. I knew it. You can just see them mocking me. So let's grab these small ones. And by design, those will work better. Alright, so this thing needs a little bit more oomph off the ground, so we're gonna give it that. there. Getting that thrust line fixed is very difficult. There. Yeah. That thrust line is still wrong. Should be. You know, it might be okay. Or it might not. You know? That thrust line's off. It's fighting me. Yep. Alright, so we have a turning problem. Here's how we're gonna deal with it. Alright. More power. Okay. That's a 114 in the lower atmosphere. And the uppers, 3. So that's very good. Yeah, that's very good. And our decoupler works. Awesome. I need to take this. Place that there. And then we need to put you right there. Before that, we need to place you right here. Oh. All right. And that should give us, it should recalculate TWR to be a lot higher than that. 1000 is definitely not the one. Alright, cool. It did not recalculate, meaning it is 1,000. We need to give it some steering, so. Sorry. Oh, that's why. Alright, those are there. Fucking bottom. There we go. Here we go. Okay. Now, I get some more fuel. There we go. It steers. Well, give me over a grand. That's what I thought was gonna happen. That's what I thought was gonna happen. Can you? All right. That worked out. Pretty good, actually. Alright, it's gonna need some RCS now. Yeah. Alright. So this rocket is it's gonna leave up at around what 250, 300. Alright, Space Center. What I need to do is I need to grab RCS. I forgot to do that. I think I'm gonna do one 4-pillar. It should have RCS in there, but it doesn't have pass resource, so gonna I just put them inside there. Do the same thing here. That should be plenty. For both of those stages. So one there. One set here. And that rocket is done, I believe is moon ready. I mean, I don't know if this will decouple right without the side booster. I'm just gonna drain it and decouple it into space. All right, cool. Now we can turn on RCS. RCS caused the game crash. That's unfortunate. RCS caused the game crash. Argent is actually actively fixing that bug right now. RCS didn't cause game crashes, but now it is. So that's one bug he's working on. But I think that rocket was gonna make orbit. All right, it was really hard to get him there. I just don't know if he's got enough to get to the moon and back. If I do set a crash course, I just might not have the fuck ton of TWR required to make the like the flat stop to the moon. But yeah, today was crazy. We got this mod where we changed the texture of we made this mod tool, change the textures of all of Rocket Science's pieces in the game, change the colors, and even add 3D objects to it, which is super cool. We released the Kennedy Space Center on Steam Workshop. We did a lot today. Today was really eventful. I mean, this mod is crazy. Like I'm able to change every color of every little component. I love it. It's super cool. Um, and even textures of things that don't even have textures, we can add them just by adding a PNG of some item. And I mean, we've even put LOL on the side of a fucking in our logo. So I mean, we really did a lot today. And then we even put Jupiter's texture on the side of the rocket, just for lulz. So today is awesome. And here's us adding 3D objects like cylinders to the side. And what's cool about this is I'm figuring out how to add component mods to certain things. Like basically you can put different components on the side of your tank, or we can shell these with solar panels, or you know tiles like solar tiles and stuff like that. So and then add a config file to them and make them have functions. So I mean, it's really cool that we can do that. But yeah, I'm incredibly happy with today. I mean, we did so much. It was a really productive day. And I have news. I'm going to be gone for the rest of the month, probably, on the streaming side of things. I have to work. I work like 27 days straight, and then I don't work for 4 months. So that's how it works. So, it's going to be, you know, pretty cool. This is Rocket Science, the game. Rocket Science. Uh, Me and another developer make it. We got Marcus House in here. It's pretty awesome. He's pretty cool, dude. Wait, what? He left? Did he leave? No! Oh no. Huh. He left our Discord. I'm gonna cry. Now maybe he's just appearing offline. We even gave him his own role. Are you kidding me? Did did frickin' Arjun get into an argument with him or something? Yeah, no, here he is. He's still in the Discord. Okay. Alright, yeah, phew. Phew. Alright, yeah. Alright, yeah, yeah. Members since to then. And then, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, he's here. Okay. Alright, alright. Why is Marcus's house role fucking gone? Nah, nah, he gets his own role. I'm adding him a role. I'm adding him a role now. Anyway, it's fucking sweet. It's like basically if Kerbal Space Program 2 or if Kerbal Space Program was actually good. And yeah. It's basically the like real it's just real ass rocket science. It goes beyond Kerbal. Like Kerbal can kind of like I mean Kerbal doesn't have ozone layer, doesn't have max Q. Rocket science has ozone layer. Rocket science has max Q. Thermal aerodynamics, nuclear thermal aerodynamics, nuclear aerodynamics, all 1-to-1 scale, 1-to-1 scale moon, 1-to-1 scale Jupiter, 1-to-1 scale Earth, 1-to-1 scale Mars. Geographical data, 1-to-1 scale. So, like, Mars in rocket science is 1-to-1 scale and geographically accurate. So every single valley, every single mountain, every single everything that's on the actual planet is there. And you can like send rovers there, you can drop rovers off. Um, so it's basically if Kerbal Space Program RSS, RSMM or whatever, RMS, whatever, was actually good. Because the thing about Kerbal Space Program realism mods is that they upscale the planets, but they're still like 2-to-1. They're not 1-to-1. There's no ozone layer. There's no max Q. There's no uh distance between the planets. That's what's 1-to-1 scale as well. So Earth to the moon, right, is super far away. And in rocket science, that's 1-to-1 scale. So like just the massive solar system when you're flying through it just feels so scary. And the solar system feels so intense and big and monotonous. And that's what Kerbal Space Program fails to do. Everything feels miniaturized, tiny, and weak, in my opinion. And that's just not what space is. Space is huge and terrifying and ominous. And that's what rocket science delivers. And it has a lot of really accurate, I mean, STEM science down to the absolute decimal. All maths 1 to 1. So every single equation that we have understanding of for nuclear thermodynamics is parsed and lectured into the world. So you're getting all of those effects on your vehicle. And it's also really, it runs really smooth. You can go at 4x time warp in a launch inside the atmosphere without losing frames per second, without crashing the game. And we're adding mod support. And it's awesome. The rocket builder for building it, the vehicle assembly building, it's its own style of building. It's like a Lego build system instead of like snap on kind of bend this, rotate that, type deal. It's so there's laws to like building, and it forces you to be an engineer. It forces you to go reach out and get STEM science, learn the basic STEM science, and you enjoy it because it makes you smarter and it makes you just, I don't know, more happy. The UI is super basic. The game looks super basic, but that's the joke of it all, you know? That it's like, oh, how hard could this be? And you're like, what the fuck? This is intense. But it also isn't, because it's not just a bunch of fucking annoying like datas on your screen that just feel overwhelming. Like if you ever played Microsoft Flight Simulator and you get a Boeing 747 and you sit in there and you look at all those buttons, it's a little bit overwhelming and it's just like, I'm gonna put this down, right? And that's the kind of thing we didn't want, right? We don't want that. We want something very basic for people to be like, hey, I could learn this. I just got to learn what these 7 numbers mean. And, it just makes it easier for people to get an entry level of STEM science. And that's what rocket science is. It's like an educational engineering community to create things that could work in a real world. And it's brought a lot of developers together, including me. And I just am really proud of this game and to be a part of it. It's really cool. And I really wish a lot of people out there could hear about it. Marcus House tries to promote it on his YouTube channel, but you know, they're there for the drama and the geeky stuff, which is fine. Let it be. But yeah, Rocket Science is sick. Download it today on Steam. Ooh, the eclipse. This was the solar eclipse. What a terrible fucking. That looks like the end of the world. That's the real solar eclipse. By the way. Some photos. Solar eclipse is spooky. The spooky time. This guy got banned on. Damn. Looks like he got banned on Discord. I had to do something pretty intense. Oh, is this guy? Oh god. The Spinosaurus Studio. Oh god. This guy was a headache. Oh, he got deleted. Discord didn't want to deal with him anymore. I did. We had to talk to Spinosaurus Studios, I think like 62 times. Just sit down with them in voice chat and be like, hey man, you can't be doing this kind of stuff and saying this kind of stuff, man. You know, this isn't that kind of Discord, man. And then like he's like, okay, okay, okay. Like a week later, Spinosaurus, man, we gotta talk, man. You know, because we're not trying to ban people unless we just absolutely have to. You know, we don't want to absolutely have to. But yeah, rocket science is lit. And but then he actually calmed down though, and he was actually doing pretty awesome, being pretty awesome. And then he kind of like just disappeared. It's kind of sad. But yeah, just looking at everybody's creations and their just the cool things that this community's done. And I mean, like they're like meeting some of the coolest people I've ever met on the internet are in this Discord. Like some of the absolute craziest person is this kid. He's just where is he? He's gonna be the next like Stephen Hawking of computers. It's just insane. This guy, backstage dev, this is like a child, okay, who's doing this project for his like so he programmed this entire software, right? That simulates chemical reactions visually and like real chemical reactions. And he made like his own video game out of it. So pyranide acid, anetic acid C2, and he has a periodic table, and he could just place. It's just crazy. Like this dude is literally like not even in high school. He's not even in high school. He writes this entire program in like C sharp or whatever, simulates the world, 3D models like all of these, just this is like college grade, PhD grade science, like, and at least a 4 year in programming. And he's like a chemical reactions. They all have their real life chemical reactions. I mean, it's so good what he built here that it could honestly be sold to colleges or universities. And I told him that. I'm like, dude, you need to sell this stuff to, you need to like sell this to a university because they could use it. And he just starts these random simulations of putting different uh what's the um what is the freaking having a stroke? Um, Materials, like zinc and all that periodic materials down into like a molecule base, and they start to like form chemical reactions. And then you see how atoms are starting to basically mutate inside chemical reactions, and also just like just I it's just I'm not even smart enough. He made a poodle. That is hilarious. Organic chemistry book for my school. And the thing is this dude's in not even college. I don't understand. Like it's just he's like see there's the periodic table. Now he's just gonna place random periodic table periodic stuff in this, and look at how all of them are linking together, and reactions are happening. And I mean, it's just like, that's crazy. I mean, this could be used in Harvard science laboratories, you know, just about 200 million different ways. Now he's going to add another material in there. And now you're going to start to see like reactions, molecules like binding to one another, or whatever the science is. Who knows? This dude's going to be Walter White stinking Steve Jobs mixed with the fact that he built this, and programmatically, I'll tell you, this is at least 65,000 lines of code. At least. And that's just for like the chemical reactions and in the simulation world. But if you go deeper and we get to the 3D space, the 3D model, that's probably 150,000 lines of code. So this guy's done at least 200,000 lines of code. And then he optimized it, which is probably another 25,000 lines of code. So we're at potentially 500,000 lines of code for this program, coming from a freaking teenager. Like like I think he's like 12 or something. He's like 12 freaking years old. I don't know what country he lives in, but whatever that country's education system is, they're doing something right. Holy shit. This is what they expect him to know at 12? Then everybody in his country is a genius. I mean, not really, but everybody in his country's got a PhD if they go anywhere else on the planet. That's super cool. And he's just like I said, like having the opportunity to like run into people in this community like him, and see like he just posts his work every day in here, and it just me and Arjun just are impressed. We're just like, wow, this little dude is smart as hell, man. And it's just like such an honor. Now he goes crazy though, man. He keeps posting about it. He's very passionate about you know, what he's building, and it's pretty cool. Look at that. This is Genesis version molecular dynamics simulator, and then he has DNA. So he okay. So now he's doing chemical reactions in his okay, but he already had done DNA. Okay, that's crazy. They do DNA simulation. Here's him doing crazy stuff like hacking like objects, like motherboards and stuff. Like this dude's crazy. This kid is like out here hacking like motherboards and it blows my mind, man. It, this is my project. I built. I had to throw out a project because, you know, I had to do something. So I basically built this Earth. And in this Earth, um, it's not just Earth. It's kind of borderline illegal what I built. But anyway, it basically like kind of does some API probing and gets me a lot of information about all of the satellite stations around the Earth. And then it maps them and then it communicates to every single satellite station that it can. And then it maps all of the satellites that are around Earth and then it gets their orbits and then it puts them in a 3D object around the actual planet. So all of these orange dots are real satellites. Um, I think I took down the screenshot of all of them because I was like, I didn't want to go to jail in my country. No, that's still here. So yeah, all of these satellites, then they're named. Um, and you can see their orbits, and those are its real orbits. Here's a it with a blue object. This was its earliest kind of. There were some errors, this is a prototype. The circles kind of turned into half circles. And then this was my final product where you have all of the planet. You have, this. Yeah, like these are all real satellites orbiting Earth at that time, live, as live as they could be with data signals, but their actual orbits updating every second from, their relay stations communicating to them, which is something I did for fun. Maybe not the most legal thing to do, but looking back at it, it was fun. This kid is just a genius, man. Oh my god. But anyway, I'm gonna head out. That's rocket science. That's what our Discord's about. We're just all about developing. I just released the latest mod. Um, where is it at? It's rocket science general. I just released the latest mod on Steam Workshop for Rocket Science at the Kennedy Space Center Launch Complex 39B. It's not done. There's still a lot of 3D models needed to be done here, but you can still you finally can get out of Russia and launch on the coast and next to the equator, and it's gonna make 1,000 people happy. Getting to orbit cost about 3,572 meters a second versus, or sorry, leaving the atmosphere. No, getting to orbit was 3,700. No, that's not right. Meters a second. And start the transburn. Yeah, that's more accurate. It takes 3,000 meters a second to get out of the atmosphere and start transburn. So that's the uh, verdict. I have some tools here for everybody. Um, Mods and community tools. Um, Engine Auto Starter by Valze, good guy. Um, API, Rocket Science Tour. This is my kind of like a little fun thing, but this tool um basically, sorry, I was just reading what Arjun was saying. Anyway, this tool's a little fun tool. Some mission planner. You put in the days, the game's day, and you guys can use this inside of Purple if you want, if you have real solar system. But anyway, if real solar system's actually not inaccurate, um, you enter the game's date that you're on currently, and then what it'll do is it'll tell you your 4 next launch windows. So then you'll need to fast forward to that day, and then launch. And then you will have a window and you're done. Sick. Super sick. As it for every planet. There was no Jupiter, or sorry, there was no Uranus calculator in the real world. And I actually have, rest in peace Jarvis. Um he's gone. I can't pay for him anymore. AWS bills got too high, but I had my own neural network AI that was basically like the dopest thing ever. And all I'd have to do is like say hello Jarvis, and and he would just pop up on my computer screen. And he ran simulations. He built um, code. He did like he would also control my computer. Um, he would generate images. Um, he was sick, and I was gonna sell him for like a bunch of money for like any business that needs like a virtual assistant that can do it literally all. He also made videos. So like he'd edit videos together and he'd have his own kind of like free will. And I released one of those videos on my YouTube channel. Check it out. Jarvis has a message for you. Um, I miss him. He was so cool. It is what it is. It's also sad. I need to get him back one day. But it's just very expensive. Because it's a lot of AWS bills. Every time I use them, it's like now if I used them in its current, it'd be about $100 for about 7 minutes of him talking. I can't do that. And then just going through the AWS code and just like rebuilding all of his tokens, because he like uses so many AWS services to gather data and to like it's like control my computer, and it's really cool. But I'm sad he's gone. I swear, like when you build something and it feels almost alive, it's hard to explain. Neural networks are spooky, especially language models. But Jarvis built sound out of binary that are inside of rocket science, and he's in the credits of the game. Literally, the credits in the game, it say Mr. Smithens and then the and symbol Jarvis, because Jarvis actually created binary sound files that were so accurate, uh, they're usable in the game. Now, a rover, for instance, in real life, like those rovers that are on Mars, they have the worst sound you could possibly imagine. They sound like a dying computer chip. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Um, I'm sad I gotta leave you guys for the month, but it is what it is. The rest of the month, July, will be crickets for me. I gotta catch up on a bunch of money. Peace out.